We all know that PPF is super popular these days, and it seems like everybody is putting it on their vehicles. But did you know that PPF can actually harm your paint's finish if you don't take care of it? So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to make your PPF look better and last a lot longer by utilizing a coating. And at the very end of this video, I'm going to show you guys the awesome water behavior that you can expect from today's process. So behind me, you can see we've got a little Chevy Bolt, and that's the car we're going to be working on today. And you might remember this vehicle from a previous rinseless wash video that I think you can watch right here. This little vehicle is owned by one of our technical directors here, Nick. But like most people, he didn't feel like he needed to ceramic coat the PPF. But Nick is wrong. PPF is not the end all be all. There is something that you can add to your PPF, not only to make it last longer, look better, but make it much easier to clean. You know what else is really great at keeping your car clean? Subscribing to our YouTube channel. That's right, hit that button down below. So what are we gonna need to do all this? Well, we're going to need a vinyl and PPF specific coating. And I got two variations right here. Now, you could use a ceramic coating of any type, any make. However, the reason we're going to be using a vinyl PPF specific coating is that these guys are flexible film coatings, meaning that they bend and flex and move. And for this video specifically, we're going to be using the Diamond Protect version. Now, think about your lungs, right? You take a big deep breath in and they expand. And then you take a big deep breath out and they shrink back up. That's everything that's happening on the surface of a PPF. Now, what we don't want to do is put a hard layer coating on top of that. A hard layer coating is great for paint surfaces, but it's not great for PPF surfaces. So that's why we're doing this type of product, because it's flexible and because it allows the PPF to expand and contract. The Diamond Protect kit has just about everything you need. It came with gloves, comes with two sizes of gloves, comes with an Edgeless 300, an applicator, comes with the body prep that you need. The only thing I've added is a Rip and Rag Ultra XL. All right, so first things first, we want to clean the surface. And one of the unique things about Diamond Protect is we are using their Diamond Body Prep, which is designed to pair extremely well with the coating. And what this kind of does is not only does it clean, but it also adds a sort of a prep layer for the coating to then bond and adhere to. So we're gonna give this a couple sprays, and what we're gonna do is get this surface as prepped as possible, which means we are gonna spray every inch of the front of this car that is PPF. So on this car, we've got the hood, the grille, the headlights, and this front bumper are completely PPF'd. But simple, right? You just spray it on and wipe it off. That's it. Now, when you spray this stuff on, you do want to give it a couple seconds. You don't want to immediately, wipe and spray. You want to let it sit so that it can get into all those nooks and crannies. The prep is the biggest thing when it comes to properly installing a coating. So if you end up going with the G-Technic Halo for this process, you're going to want to make sure that you pair it with G-Technic's panel wipe. That way, you've prepped the surface exactly how they would ask you to. So one thing that I'm noticing in this prep cleaning phase is bugs. If you're not cleaning the bugs off in a timely manner, you're gonna notice it a lot more on PPF. Yes, it's protecting it because yes, it's hitting the PPF and it's not going into the paint, but because the PPF breathes, it makes it a lot harder to get those bugs out if you don't do this. So Jersey Bug Scrubber, it's a good bet. All right, so we've prepped the surface. Now we're going to apply. Just like every Diamond Protect product, pays to shake. That's what those little beads are in there for. And what this does is it mixes up all the components of this coating. And these little micro nano diamonds, they need to be shaken up. So what we're gonna do is apply the product to our applicator pad. Now, a couple things I like to do just for fun that you guys can do at home is I make a letter I. See that? What this does is it provides a leading edge and a trailing edge as well as a bleed line into the coating. So one thing I like to do, especially when I'm working on a hood, is kind of go right down the middle. And this is a small hood, so if it's a big hood, I'd probably work on watching what you're doing. But because this is a little hood, so what I'm gonna do is now pull. What I can do is pull from this coating line that I just did by going up and down. Once I get this product on here, I'll just crisscross back. The goal is to just make sure I don't miss anything. Now, depending on the temperature and the area that you're working in, this could flash fairly quickly. Right now it's holding pretty well. And I think we can get the headlights and this front grille done before that's ready to go. And then we'll do the bumper last. So what we're looking at here is some light pulling or beating where the coating is starting to be absorbed by the surface. And what it's doing is it's spreading out. So we want to look for that. We still want it to be a little wet. We don't want it to be too dry. And what we're going to do is take our little towel that was added in the kit, and we're just going to lightly wipe down the surface that we just coated. We're going to wait a few minutes is all it's going to take. However, if you're in high heat or high humidity, that window is going to shorten. So you may have to be doing a half a hood at a time. Unlike right now where we're in perfectly controlled temperature and no humidity, I've got plenty of time to really work on this and enjoy it. And again, I'm not using any pressure. You shouldn't need any pressure to wipe off the coating. And already I'm feeling a lot of slickness underneath my towel. Now, this coating, one of the great things and benefits about it is if it does dry on the surface, you're gonna wanna add a little more, reapply it, and then wipe it off again immediately. And that'll help remove that little high spot. Or if you missed a spot, this is a very forgiving, simple, easy coating to use, especially if you've never used a coating before. Key is just keep your eyes on it. Look for that pulling. Make sure it's still a little wet. We don't want it saturated or sopping, but we want it to where you can start to see that it's kind of thinning out on the surface. All right, let's do the bumper now. Now, one of the neat features of this coating is its ability to resist high heat and extreme cold. It was perfect for PPF and vinyl because of its ability to remain flexible even under those extreme conditions. So again, we're gonna wait and see if this can pull a little bit. So again, what we're looking for is a little bit of it's literally this, it's a separation. And right now we are still very thick, so it may take a little bit before we can see that. Now, if you're running a shop, allow this to sit for about an hour before you deliver to the customer. If you're at home, I'd allow you to let this sit in your garage for about an hour. I recommend not washing the vehicle, not cleaning the vehicle or anything like that, and letting this coating cure for a little while longer. Now, for some people, it could be 12 hours. For some people, it could take, you know, a couple hours. It really just depends on temperature and humidity of the area that you're in. We're gonna let Nick's car stay in here overnight. Now we can see the, what do you say, Jimmy? Fruits of our labor. So one of the great things that you see, obviously, is the great contact angle. So the water is just coming right off the edge. Also, we've got some extremely tight round beads, which is perfect. One of the things to remember is that this coating and other PPF style coatings really have a short lifespan. They're not a 3, 5, 7, 10-year kind of coating, but what they are is a 18-month to 2+ year coating, which means you are going to have to reapply it in a couple years. But what that's gonna do is gonna help extend the life of your PPF, and it's going to help protect and become the sacrificial barrier for the sacrificial barrier that is the PPF. And what we're gonna be doing from here on out on this is making sure that it's washed. Nick's gonna be able to keep it clean with a lot of great pH neutral soaps, and he's gonna be able to keep an eye on it, because once this coating starts to degrade, he can just apply another one right on top of it. So now that you watched us coat this Chevy Bolt, you're probably wondering, well, what kind of soap would I use to care for it? How would I keep it clean? Well, fret not, we got a video right here on the best soaps to be able to use, and I'll be in that video with you. So click on over there, we can watch it.